Guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back on the 91 Alfa Romeo Spider. Today we're working on the tachometer. I think it is not calibrated properly. Let's get started. Okay, so here's the reason why I think it's not calibrated properly. All right, so what's going on is driving the car. I've got a lot of the stuff fixed. The car's driving a whole lot better, but I'm hitting the rev limiter around 5,000, 5,100, somewhere there. That is not right. That thing's supposed to be, what, about 6,500. So I started looking at the forums, and I came across a lot of people having this problem and how they're fixing it without sending the gauge off to get fixed somewhere and costing a lot of money. So this will be a simple fix. It's a little amount of work, or it's a lot of work, but it will fix it and you'll save a whole lot of money. So what I've got is, and I'll flip the camera on here in a second, I've got a pulse generator, and we're going to hook that up to the car, or at least up to the tach, and then we're going to see at the frequency, the hertz, if it's hitting 7,000 RPMs on the through the pulse generator itself. So I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and then we're going to get in the car, turn the car on, and see where the tach goes to. Now again, the tach is not connected to the car now. I've got the wire loose, and I'll show you where that's at, and I'm going to connect the pulse generator directly to it, turn the ignition on, and see where we're at. All right, let me flip the camera over so you can see what I'm talking about, and we'll go from there. All right. So here's the pulse generator. I got this on Amazon. I'll link it below. It was like 12, 13 bucks. So I've set it at 233 hertz and 50%. So 233 hertz, basically that's around 7,000 RPMs. That's what I've read in the forums, and a gentleman named Tom in the forums, him and I have been messaging back and forth. And so we've been talking a little bit about it, and this is where we decided this is where it needs to be, at 233 hertz. I've got it 50%. You can bring the duty up, but I don't think it really matters. So how do I have this connected? So one wire, here, the red one, that's going to directly to the power block here in the up underneath the hood of the car. You need to use the power of the car. Don't hook an external battery up to power this thing. And then I've got the brown wire, and I've just got that sitting right here, so I've got that grounded. And then if we come over here, this, or gray wire, excuse me, and then the brown wire here, walk around the car, that's going to be hooked up to the tachometer. Now, if you notice, we've got two sides of the coil here, right? So you don't want to go on I think that's number 15. Yeah, 15 side. That's the power and everything, or the ground and everything. So here, what we've got is we've got this thick white wire. This white wire here goes directly back to the ECU, and that is for the pulse, really the RPMs back to the ECU. And then this wire here, it's like a brownish colored wire. It was connected with it, so we just cut it off. And I'm going to take this wire and, let's see here if I can, with one hand, get it on. All right, so now the pulse generator is connected directly to the tachometer. So if we come in here, what we should see is around 7,000 RPMs when I turn the key on. So here's the tachometer here. I've already taken the ring off. Well, if you can see here, the ring off here is just to show you here, just a plastic ring. So we'll keep that down here so we don't damage it. But I've already pulled that off, and there's some screws, and this will come out, and then we'll get in to calibrate the tach. All right, so let's turn the key. And so we should see around 7,000. All right. So as you can see, turn that. There we go. So as you can see, it is sitting closer to 5.5. And that's about where the red line is hitting the red line and bumping. So we're going to have to take the pod out and then get it to where we're at 7,000 on this pulse generator. It's just not at the right place. So therefore, I'm not getting an accurate reading as I'm driving the car. All right, so let's go ahead and adjust that. So I'll pull the gauge cluster out and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, guys, I have got the two pieces, spread it out a little bit. I've got the two pieces spread apart. So here is the first piece here. So that's the cluster itself that you see from the outside, because as you can see, there's your lights here. So there's 4 screws. It's basically 1, 2, 3, 4. That pops out. And then there's 3 screws here. 1, 2, 3. And then this you kind of wiggle out. There are some prongs, and I'm backwards here, but as you can see those prongs down there. That's what this connection, that's what makes this connection right there. So I did that. I have adjusted already it a little bit. I ended up having to kind of like cut that rubber cement glue type stuff, and just I turned it some. So I'm going to see going clockwise if that makes a difference or not. So then I'll be able to put it back in, turn the car on, and see where we're at. So the next step now is we're just going to put it back in. I'm not going to connect all of this stuff up. I'm not cranking the car or anything. So I'm just, just basically turning it on, and then just kind of see what it all looks like. And we'll go from there. So piece there, this piece here, we got this out, the 3 screws that go here, here, and here. I've adjusted it, so now I'm going to put it back in and see if we get close to the 7,000 RPMs. All right, hang tight. All right, guys, we got it adjusted. Now let's turn the key and see what this looks like. I don't have the whole binnacle in, so just part of it. That's all we need to do this test. All right, I turned it a little too much. All right, so now I'll get it back on the bench. I'll counterclockwise, turn it counterclockwise a little bit, plug it up, and see where we're at. All right, guys, the second time was the charm. Not the third time, but the second time. So as you can see, we're sitting at bring it out a little bit, 7,000 RPMs. I think we are perfect. So now I'll get everything back out, button it all up, get the binnacle back in, and crank it up and kind of see where the RPMs are at. It's kind of raining, so I don't know if I'm going to take it for a spin or not just yet. But let me get it all buttoned back up, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right, guys, that is it. That is how you recalibrate the tachometer. The speedometer is about the same as well. I didn't want to get into that. You would still use the pulse meter on the speedometer as well. I think what I'm going to do is just drive it, hook my GPS up on my phone, just kind of see where I'm at and see if I even need to touch it. I really don't want to if I don't have to. I don't really care if it's a little off. We'll see. Anywho, I think that's it. Tachometer is working great. So you saw we removed the binnacle, split open the pod, and adjusted the screw a little bit, put it back in, had to take it back out, adjust it back a little bit more, put it back in. Everything works fine. Definitely the RPMs are up. Everything seems to be running where they're supposed to. So we're raining right now, so I'm not going to get out and drive the car. I'll wait till we have a clear day, and then I'll get out and drive it and see if I can get up into the RPMs and hit that rev limiter in the right spot. So I think that's going to be a wrap. So please, guys, like, subscribe, ring the bell. It definitely helps this channel out. And we'll be doing some more cool things with this Spider. We got a performance upgrade coming. That'll be interesting to see once it gets here. All right, guys, please like, subscribe, ring the bell. And as always, God bless.